What's up, Exile? So today we're going to be going over the top 5 best Amazon builds in Dawn of the Hunt. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So if you're wondering what site we're using, just as a reference, we're using what's called PoE2 Ninja. I want to go ahead and check out the top 5 over here. We're sorting them by DPS, but we're also taking into consideration that they have to have some HP. So I'm not going to put it at like, like 100 HP. Sometimes people do that to try to get up on the board, but there's no one doing that right now. So we're A-okay. But let's go ahead and check out what's, ranked number 1. Keep in mind, we're sorting it by DPS. There's no like pit leaderboards or anything like that. So for starters, I want to go ahead and go over the build kind of like quickly because we're going to be checking out multiple here, but there's a lot of overlap here. So starting right off, we're seeing some sort of a spear here, and a lot of builds are running lightning spear and primal strikes as their main source of DPS, but there's also like infused weapon here. But primarily it is a high DPS spear with specifically getting that added lightning damage is kind of the key here, as well as getting extra physical if you can roll the physical, and because lightning spear over here, oh, it doesn't read the full skill, but nonetheless, lightning is what looks like what we're trying to scale in terms of damage here. So we're seeing the spear over here. We see just a helmet with resistances. We also have increased critical hit chance on the helmet. This is a thing that you'll see quite often with a lot of the builds. A Lycoside, which is a shield. And the reason why they run this is because what you get is accuracy rating is double. The rest of the stats, whatever, it doesn't matter too much. But the reason why is you want to stack accuracy to get even more crit. And then we have the Beacon of Assist. This is another item you'll see time and time again. These are kind of like the best items also that I've seen. There's actually a lot of cool uniques. So it has the implicit of spirit. It also gives a spirit, but the main thing that they're running this for is critical hits ignore enemy monster elemental resistances. So you don't even need to get any penetration with the build. Pretty cool stuff. And as far as the rings go, it's a lot of physical and lightning damage, and then just resistances. There's increased rarity here, but you guys get the idea. You can also get your main stat, just so you can equip everything. And then also for the chest piece, it's kind of like the bread and butter of just getting as much resistance as possible, getting high evasion, some max life as well. And then this is one thing that is important that will be on the gloves here, is getting accuracy rating. You want to stack a lot of accuracy rating in this build because that contributes to your critical hit chance. So also getting lightning damage over here. Kind of key. Now there's also a heavy belt to get increased stun threshold. Stunning, getting frozen, it sucks. So yeah, it's not that bad to get, because remember in Dawn of the Hunt, we actually have 50% of our stun threshold and freeze threshold. All the ailment got reduced by 50%. So yeah, expect to get stunned and frozen a lot more. So heavy belt, not a bad choice for the update. And then with the boots, just some extra resistances. We got some main stats, some life, and of course you want movement speed. And for the flask, I'm guessing, oh, he doesn't have like the seething, which usually makes it so you get faster recovery. It doesn't really matter though. Got a charm for frozen and stun. These are like the common ones. These are the jewels that they are running. And then as far as the passive tree, so if you guys are unfamiliar with this website, I will also link this, I'll link in the pin over here. So if you go to open over here, you can check out kind of all of the stats. So right below me over here, you can see all of the stats. Now you can zoom in. This is like the normal skill tree. Over here, well, the reason why they have it set up like this, if you've been playing Path of Exile for a while, well, you probably kind of understand the nodes, but I'm going to use this kind of as a reference, but there are a lot of builds that are similar here. So for starters, as far as the bonuses, obviously we're going to get this critical strike chance over here, which is based off of your accuracy. So that's why there's going to be a lot of accuracy nodes. Keep in mind, a lot of websites are kind of like scuffed right now. Like it might not read correctly because everyone's updating right now. So he's getting predatory instinct in for the kill, as well as elemental infusion over here. And then as far as like other things to mention that may be kind of important, getting all the crit nodes, getting these extra elemental nodes over here. It also helps out with damage reduction. Getting all of these accuracy nodes over here, getting all of the spear nodes. And then this one is actually something that got updated in Dawn of the Hunt. So it used to be 100% chance on non-crits for lucky hit for lightning damage, but now it does work with crits, so that's actually kind of a nice thing. There is also this nice bonus over here where you get all this extra accuracy. This one also gives you increased accuracy rating equal to their critical hit chance of your attacks, so even more accuracy over there, probably going towards like 100, near 100% crit in here. You also have this nice little 1% base crit, getting bestial skin. That's kind of like the most important thing. Oh, he didn't actually go for this. Since I'm guessing you stack a lot of decks over here. I'm curious to know why he didn't get that, because that one's kind of nice too. But probably just not enough room. And then we have extra crit damage bonus over there for that. And then over here, there's a nice 15% more maximum lightning damage, especially if you're getting that lucky hit to roll 2 times. This one is actually pretty big. So that's going to be it for the first build over here. Now moving on to the second build by MN. Oh, this person's name, just to give him a shout out here, Agni ZXV. Next person over here is M. And so this is kind of similar. So we'll kind of go through these again, like briefly fast. One important thing that we do need to go over real quick before we hop into the next one is the actual skill choice. Because I mentioned over here what like the skill, like, skills that they're using as far as like the DPS. But over here, as far as the skills go, like with the gems, just in case any of you guys want to kind of either copy the build or get some inspiration or try out some other things for your build, I'll kind of mouse over these. But most of them are actually going to be kind of identical. There are going to be some, more interesting ones. I actually was checking, and they're not all the same, but there's a lot of overlap, and a lot of people are using like Sniper's Mark to get that specific frenzy charge, and then you can expend it because that's kind of how the build plays. We have Cannibalism, great for recovery over here. Grim Feast was really good for recovery too, but that thing is deleted. All right, so next up for the build is MNAMs. So we see some similarities. Again, Beacon of Aziz, we're seeing Lacoside, but we have another unique over here that I thought was very interesting for Amazon players that are doing anything with lightning. So a Wake of Destruction, it drops shock ground while moving, so this is how he's going to apply shock, because we also see Kotoko's current Jeweled Gloves. What this does is instead of for lightning damage to shock, because we have shock with the shocked ground here, instead we're having lightning damage contributes to electrocution. So that's going to be something a little bit different, but again, most of the other things are kind of the same, just getting physical, lightning. Again, this one actually is running physical over here. It's got a nice big 100% increased physical, then we have some lightning over here, some extra crit. You can also get accuracy in gloves, but obviously with Kotoko's, that's going to be something different, so you can get electrocution. And then we have Primal, Lightning, Stormlance Infused Weapon. Similar things over here. Oh, you know what? My bad on the last one. We didn't go over the jewels. Honestly, the jewels were kind of just filler that the person was using. He had like Ignite and stuff. So this one over here has Duration of Ignite, Shock, and Chill. But nothing that was super out of the ordinary. It was like attack damage. As far as the passive tree over here, this is basically very similar. Again, we're going to go ahead and open this up so you guys can see like the enlarged version. But a lot of the builds are pretty much the same. This one's running Penetrate, Predatory, and Elemental Infusion, which is pretty much what I would say a lot of people will be running. I've seen a couple people go for In for the Kill as well. That's like another okay one. So go ahead and choose the one that you want. As far as it goes, we're looking at like getting all the spear notes over here, the crit. This one actually paths up over here to get this increased crit damage bonus. There's a nice little, this is reduced critical damage bonus, but it increased critical strike chance. So more consistency, I guess, is what they're going for over there. And then over here, we see all this crit. So extra crit over here, increased damage if you've dealt a critical hit in the last 8 seconds, and then we also have increased crit, so lots of extra crit over here. Another jewel socket, but again, a lot of these kind of are going to be similar in terms of like the overlap. But as far as the skills go, like I said, I'm going to be mousing over these kind of quick because there are some builds that are the same, and because I want to go over the top 5, but there are differences here. They're not always going to be the same, but again, I expect to see some of the same ones over here with like Sniper's Mark, Single Out, Inspiration, and then we have Wind Dancer with Pit. Okay, that's something that I think is interesting because you could usually apply Blind also with Wind Dancer. It's another good way, and you can actually get Calling Strike on it, which is interesting. Now we're going into something a little bit more different here. So, also I want to mention, as far as like copying these in POB, POB is having some issues right now, so, I mean, just in case any of you guys want to copy the build, you might just be better off going to the website because importing from POB, and not everything works. Again, keep in mind, it's brand new. The league just came out. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. So this is another Amazon, but we can see a Crossbow Amazon build. This is cool. I like seeing variety here. So what we have is the Black Insignia Corsair Cap. So this gives you Tailwind on crit no more than once per second, but you lose all Tailwind on hit. Okay, very, very interesting. We also have increased rarity on the item. Looks like we're getting increased physical as the implicit with grenade skills. Okay, so it's some sort of grenade build. So the thing that's doing all the damage is the shock burst. So it's all lightning damage. So 90% of the damage on this is, well, actually this is the DPS dealer. This is just that probably a primer or something. But most of the damage is coming from the shock burst rounds over here. So let's see if there's anything that's, most of the stuff is just going to be like HP resistance, movement speed, obviously getting lightning damage. But I'm looking for like more obscure things also just to mention, because I think it's kind of interesting to mention things. Everyone's running the Cannot Be Frozen one, but also you can run the stun one. That one's great as well. Crossbow reload speed looks like what he's prioritizing over here, just so the build feels probably a little bit better. Once again, we'll go ahead and open up this so you guys can kind of see it a little bit better. So you can see what the ascendancy is, and it looks like he's just going all over on this side. So no elemental infusion over there for the build, and then you can see what they're stacking, a bunch of accuracy. Oh, that's really cool. And if you mouse over it, it actually shows you where the nodes are. That's a newer update that I have not seen. That's really cool, man. That's super helpful that you can see where all of these things are acquired. Wow. Cool stuff, man. But yeah, it looks like he's going over here again. And most of these things are kind of similar. It looks like everyone's kind of doing accuracy stacking to get all this crit. Cool. And then as far as the skills go with this build, let's go ahead, and let's go check this one out for the skills. For their skills, they are running Galvanic Shards. Remember, the big DPS dealer is actually Shock Burst, but Galvanic Shards for Close Combat, Martial Tempo, Innervate, Volt. So with Shock Burst rounds, we got Primal Armament, Lightning Infusion, Elemental Focus, Concentrated Effect, and Fresh Clip over here. Then we have Herald Thunder, Herbalism, Cannibalism, Thunder Sleep, Hit and Run, Unbreakable, Voltaic Mark, Persistence, Lightning Mastery, Emergency Reload, Ingenuity, Premeditation, Wind Dancer, Precision. And then we have the extra accuracy. That's a good one to throw in for sure. And then moving on to the next one over here. So the next one is going to be Talon Hunter, and it looks like we're seeing the same thing over here, like Uside, with again Lightning Spear, Primal Strikes, and Infused Weapon over here. So this one's main DPS was kind of like both of these. And then are we seeing anything different? Looks like we got another Solar Amulet. Looking to see, okay, 35 mana per enemy kill. That's a nice thing to get on your gloves as well, just for sustain, for sure. He's got locked in Ingenuity. I wonder if that is just a placeholder now. Because I don't know. How do you guys feel about Ingenuity after the nerfs? I feel like the nerfs are like really big, and like the extra... Well, I think it can roll up to 2 extra charm slots. I think it's still pretty weak, considering it was so much better before, but... he's also, these are all Amazon, because I'll be honest, I don't think Ritualist is like it right now, but we can also go and update over like the best Ritualist build, but I'll be honest, this is where it's at. So it looks like he's doing the same sort of thing. We're getting the shocked ground with this over here, but no other gloves here. Very interesting, because the other ones would be the reason why you'd want it. So you get the Electrocute, so you're going to build up that stagger bar, right? As far as the passive tree, looks like this one over here. Oh, he hasn't even done the other labs yet. Wow. Maybe this guy's going to be rank 1 soon. I was expecting everyone to to fill it in. Okay, so it looks like every single build is getting that extra critical strike stuff, and elemental infusion is very common as well. And again, most of the stuff is like getting the spear nodes, getting this accuracy. Looks like a lot of people are going straight down here, because I was actually thinking pathing down this way for the extra like attack speed and movement speed, because it makes the game feel way better. But I think that maybe this is the better route for spear builds. I was running a bow build as well that went this way. But like, yeah, the spear nodes over here are like generally too good. And every single build that can get this is really nice, because getting skill speed, it makes the game feel so much smoother. It's getting all the accuracy nodes and one-handed melee weapons. Okay, because I'm guessing that counts as it. And you also get strength and dex over here. Remember, dex gives you accuracy, and that's good. Oh, he did not get this. This is big. I feel like this is just like such a good thing to get, to have lucky. Now, did he get the extra? He did get this one over here for the more maximum lightning damage. Okay, cool stuff indeed. And then bestial skin, yeah. Oh, no acrobatics. Okay, very interesting. Okay, cool. And then as far as the other stuff for Talon Hunter, as far as what he's running for the skills, Lightning Spear, Primal, Martial, Lightning Infusion, Volts, Primal Strikes, Elemental Focus, and then we have Bullseye, Concentrated, Close Combat, Conduction, Neural Overload. That's actually a pretty good thing to run over here, because like you can't apply the elements, but so this is the reason why he's not running Katovos or whatever, because he's applying shock with the other thing. So it's cool to see, again, variety, and then mentioning like, you know, maybe other things that you can try. I've seen almost all the builds play Sniper's Mark for the most part, because you need that source of frenzy charge, and you're always going to crit with this build. Very, very good stuff indeed. I think that this is going to be something that'll be very fun, and probably one of the more meta-ish builds for this league. Now, also want to mention that if you're kind of annoyed with applying Sniper's Mark, they're actually adding something else that lets you like cull, and then it gives you a charge of it. We'll have to wait and see if people will actually want to play that, but that's another thing to go ahead and mention over here. So yeah, that's crazy. He only has the first two ascendancies, and then this one is the one that is anointed with extra crit chance, reduced maximum mana. Ooh, reduced maximum mana, but I guess like if mana's not a problem, no big deal, right? And then the next person, the Amazon package delivery. I love the name, man. So it looks like we're seeing the Beacon of Aziz once again. This guy's not running the accuracy one. Maybe that, I don't know if that item is super expensive, or I haven't checked the prices of things, but looks like it's pretty much the same, just getting Fizz, and then ideally probably getting Lightning, and Primal Strikes, Lightning Spears, the damage here. As far as like the DPS goes, and let's see what he's running on the jewels. Oh, we have some pen. I guess you can get pen over here. But like if you have the ignore it, because it's not really necessary. But again, keep in mind, this is like first week of league. There may be some kind of placeholders, right, that we see in the very beginning. And then let's go ahead and open up this a little bit larger, so we can see what they are going for. So once again, it looks like a lot of people are getting this one over here. And then this player has not done the 4th lab, but he's got crit, he's got predatory instinct, elemental infusion. Again, is kind of bread and butter. I like this one a lot as well, if your item rolls with accuracy. I'm not sure if what the numbers are, but I know in bows you can get like almost like 500 accuracy, somewhere around there. You get a good rolled one. So you can play it like, yeah, Amazon obviously right now is the hot thing because of spears. Is the brand new thing, but I actually think with bow it's quite great as well. He's also getting that lucky extra accuracy over here, extra accuracy, and then almost every single one of the spear nodes except for that 3%. We're getting the extra base crit as well, and then getting more crit over here. Good stuff. And then there's these are quarterstaffs. So getting bestial skin. Again, I'm really surprised that people aren't getting this Falcon technique, especially since like you're getting like all this extra dex here, but probably just not enough room yet. But maybe that'll be something that they will work towards later. But yeah, very cool to see that we saw kind of one build that was a little bit different, but for the most part, it looks like pretty much this is kind of the build as far as it goes, is getting the Lycoside and that other amulet over there, which is the Beacon of Aziz. But that looks like kind of like the meta-ish builds as right now. And let me know, guys, if you guys were surprised by anything, or if there's anything that you guys felt like I missed out on, which was like kind of key to mention. But yeah, this looks like it is the top tier. And currently, I mean, again, if we're going by, we're just looking at like the DPS, you can go to anyone. I went to, by the way, I just went to Dawn of the Hunt over here, and pretty much half the player base is playing the Amazon because it's so much better. But there's also technically the Ritualist. But yeah, we mainly wanted to focus in on the Amazon for this video. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and I'll update you guys later if there's some crazy thing, because, you know, within the first week, sometimes people figure out one crazy thing for like the build, and then it'll just be like absolutely bonkers for numbers. There was a Twister build, just as a heads up, that was the best build in the game, but that was like a bug, so that's why you're seeing all the builds basically the same, and they're all about specifically the Lightning Spear, Primal Strikes, and there's also Infused Weapon as they're like that, the damage dealers. But I think this is like the main thing that you kind of want to look out for if you're like, I kind of want to get my build up online. These things will definitely be key, especially for the bosses with Ignore, Res. Very good stuff. But anyways, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Exiles.